It is repetition which makes for perfection.
Okay. Nose. Thing with a shark, it's not just a. You would think it's just this, like a fish. Although that is pretty good as a shark goes. They're very triangular. Most fish kind of have this kind of shape, right? So that, you know what? I just proved myself wrong. That's a shark right there. It's a less than or greater than, depending on which way you're looking. Yeah. Um, okay, but then he's got teeth, or it has teeth. Okay, there are the teeth. Lots of teeth. Then the question is, where's the eye? It's always like closer to the mouth than you think. All right, and then there's a nose hole, which looks like an eye as well. But the nose hole, or the nostril as we like to call it, the nose hole, uh, it's blunter than you think, and it's more triangular, right? That's like this is the top part and this is the bottom part. Okay. And then I think he's got a tongue. Do sharks have tongues? No, sharks don't have tongues. But don't you need a tongue to talk? Okay. Teeth. He's got teeth. He's got a hand. And he's throwing food. Maybe some crispy egg rolls. Although it looks like a... I don't know what that looks like. Here's a thing with drawing kids is that if you draw something and you go like, what is that? If you don't know, the viewer's not going to know. So you got to draw something that people go, okay, I know exactly what that is. And usually what I do is I draw like a piece of meat. And so shorthand for a steak is something like this. Well, that looks like an egg. Maybe if the bone. Does that look like steak? It looks like a broken violin. Okay. Or ukulele. People go, well, why don't you draw feet? Where did they all go? Well, here we go. Here we go. All right. Inspiration comes from the least expected places sometimes. So sometimes you just find out by just drawing. So the eye is a dead round circle. The nose hole, I make it more a little vertical like that. Right? And then you just basically take the marker, draw over the pencil lines you put down. Like that. I think that's his upper lip. I don't know what that is. And then the teeth actually kind of go all different angles. There's a white space there to be had. Orthodonture, if that's the right word for sharks. Varying sizes. I think that's what makes them so fearsome is that the teeth are at all these crazy different angles. So like once they bite you, it's really tough to extract yourself without making it even more damaging to your body. What is it? Looked like he had an eyebrow there. But putting these little lines, it looks like there's a little bit of a socket indentation where that eye goes. And then we'll hint at this turn of the form. If I can use those highfalutin art terms. Give a little bit of texture, acne, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And teeth, I think great whites have 2 or 3 rows of teeth. Which makes the prospect of accidentally biting your tongue as a shark very, 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 very painful, I would imagine. Okay, here's the tongue. It's a little freaky. It's a human tongue inside a shark. Here's a shadow of the tongue on the base of the mouth. And then here's the back half of the mouth. And then I don't know, I gotta make it feel three-dimensional. And then the inside of the mouth has a structure. If you explore your own mouth, it's almost like vaulted ceiling. I think vaulted is the right term. And then there's a line, the center line there. So if light's up here, it's going to be a darker shadow up at the top, and then light will show up down here. So what does that mean? As you cast a shadow like that, everything above this line will be in shadow. So let's go ahead and start putting the shadows in between the vaults. Okay. And then, because that looks like a bunch of black lines as opposed to a shadow, it's telling me, the drawing is telling me telepathically that I need to darken those values. Now, how do you create that internal voice that tells you these things? I don't know. Usually when that happens, that's a bad sign in regards to mental health. I think you embrace that voice when you decide you're going to be an artist, and then you refine it, you build it up, you make it stronger through practice. It's almost like the interior monologue voice knows your work or yourself better than you do. Right? Aren't there times where you commit to something in the back of your head going like, I'm never going to do that? The spoken voice is what you'd like to do. The inner voice knows you. Alright, now I've cast a shadow across the tongue, but it really needs to line up with the shadow underneath here. It's hard for me to explain why, but it just does. So I'm going to take this all the way down and see what happens. Right? Doesn't that feel a little more three-dimensional? But now those teeth over there really, I feel like they need to be black. Again, I have really no basis for any of this. I have no three-dimensional model. I'm just going off of past experience. Also, I can't see this very well. It's very blurry to me, so I need to put my glasses on. The fun of drawing as you age out. There's a lot more fussiness here than I expected or thought I'd put down. And by fussiness, I mean just lines that are just going in random different directions. So let me just clean up some of these lines here. Alright. But see how they almost feel like a little too two-dimensional, like they have a shadow side and a light side. So actually I think they would look better if they were completely black. Let's see what happens if I do that. And then only at the top would you see more light. we feeling that? Okay. Oh, you know what? I know why. What I drew there looked like it's the whole, the back of his mouth, the tongue is arced, not that the tongue goes straight. So I'm going to lean into that. Okay. Let's do that. And then let's go ahead and further kind of create a change in planar directions, right? So this is one surface here, and then it changes direction. Like if we're drawing it from the side, it would look like this. See that? See that turn right here? I'm just doing it through use of line and gray, right? Okay, now let's go ahead and put the, I think he's got webbed fingers. It's got a palm there. And then this foot will have a bone stick still out of it. Ankle. Heel. I'm going to make it a right foot. I don't know. Feels funnier as a right foot. Or a left foot, sorry. Who's running around without a shoe or sock on, though? Because that's gross. It's like people on airplanes that take off. I don't mind you taking off your shoes, but I've seen people take off their socks too. No one here is here for that. All right. And this makes it feel like it's underwater, right? Correct? You feeling it? And we don't want it to go over what we've already drawn. Ooh, that went right into the paper. Okay, I'm trying to get as much liquid on here. Oh, you know what? I think it's picking up the ink from the paper too. Like the ink hasn't fully dried yet. Right? All right, here we go. Can we do it? All right, I don't want ink. That's... Wait, he hasn't eaten the foot yet. Where's the blood coming from? Maybe from the previous. All right. Yeah, you can see it's picking up the black from the markers, which hadn't fully dried yet, even though they're permanent. This is the fun part about art. If you did it digitally, you can control it. When you're using analog tools, you have no idea how it's really, you have an idea in your head like how it's supposed to work. So you have to be even creative in your expectations and not creative. You have to be a problem solver. some more paper, more water over here. Go ahead and get some more of this. This paper is very absorbent. Ooh. Okay. Let's help nature too. Let's see if we can help. No, we cannot help. There you go. You get the idea. I'm gonna let it dry. Let's and they're usually gray on top. So if you notice, as I put pencil down, even though I'm doing it quickly, it's not super sharp, but it's not super blunt either. But you can see I'm drawing the lines, and you can see the gaps in between each line. Do you see that? Can you see that on the right? So it looks like a bunch of parallel lines, which is okay. This is one style, I guess. You could draw something, but if the goal is to make it uniform, you can go back in and fill in the gaps in between, like that. Right? See that? Like how it's starting to goes from like stripes to like more of a uniform gray. Meaning if you did it slowly and had patience, which I didn't have, you could do it that way. Or you could say, well, I don't want those lines, but I don't mind there to be a checkerboard effect. So the net effect is that it's gray. So we're just going to do something a little different. And you want to practice the effect, which is just being able to draw lots of lines in parallel will serve you well. It's a learned thing. If that makes any sense to you guys, right? So the idea is that if you have a sketch, all right, you want to be able to it's like those people with those knives that basically chop vegetables and go they're all like exactly uniform and stuff. So you want to be able, like, this is just muscle memory. If you do it slowly, it looks like this. But if you do it quickly, it looks like this. That's dark. It should lighten up once it dries. And I'll show it again on stream. But